Before we start our discussion today, let us pray the Dominican blessing. In the name of Father, Son, the Holy Spirit.
God the Father bless us. God the Son lead us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us and give us eyes to see with, ears to hear with, hands to do the work of God with, feet to walk with, and mouth to preach the word of salvation. And may the angel of peace watch over us and lead us at last to the rich gift of the kingdom. Amen.
Amen. In the name of Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, so database query language. Specifically, we are using SQL or structured query language for us to be able to access table or database. A relational database model contains tables, correct? The records in those tables are accessed using a structured query language or SQL. SQL is used to create the database access sections of applications. Initially, SQL is called SQL and created, the technology is originally created by IBM. Query language, anong ibig sabihin ng query language? SQL is not a programming language. It's a programming language or language used to create programs. SQL is not that. SQL is a query language. A query language is a language used to query, to send a request, to send a command to a database. Query is a request, a question, a command sent to the database. So that is SQL. SQL is composed of or divided into two categories: the SQL data manipulation and SQL data definition. We will discuss each today as we go along. So this is an example of the interface of an MS Access. MS Access, Microsoft Access is a database. And we said earlier that your database is composed of tables. So if you can see here in this part, the navigation, I have the list of the tables. So this is the table for hotel, the table for room, table for booking, and table for guests. So, ang database, marami siyang tables. It's a collection of tables. Each table, if you remember the discussion with ERD, hindi siguro ma-remember kasi wala tayong discussion doon. If you watch the video of ERD, entity relationship diagram, the more entities you have identified in your business process and relationship, this will be represented by your tables. So example, I have here hotel. I have a table for guests. Yung relationship between hotel and guests, which is booking, is also a table. So the more complex your business process, the more entity, the more relationship that you have identified in your business process, the more tables that you have in your database. Ganun siya lalaki. And sabi natin, each table are composed of columns and rows. The columns are the what we call fields. Ito yung fields natin. So each field is a collection of the same type. Lahat to hotel number. Lahat to hotel name. Lahat to city. Kaya siya field. Your fields are your attributes. If you, sa ERD, we have entity relation attributes. Attributes are the fields. If entity and relationship are tables, fields are the attributes. So those are the columns. For the rows are what we call, each row is record. One row is one record. So one record is a collection of related data. For this record, first record, ito lahat is the data about Dusit Hotel, location Makati, hotel number 36. The second record is all about Shangri-La Hotel, location Makati, hotel number 55. So siya yung related data, making it a record. So kung halimbawa ibang entity yan like product or students. So kung maraming estudyante, the more records we have. If I have 55 second year students, o lahat yun nandyan. If I have 2,000 college students, all those information about each student, naka-list yan. 2,000 records. Okay? So let's discuss the SQL now. Paano natin i-access yung data na yan? First, we have the DML or Data Manipulation Language. DML statements are used to access, manipulate data in existing schema subject objects or tables. So again, DML statements are used to access and manipulate the data. The good thing about programming languages and query languages, they are in English. Therefore, madali lang natin maintindihan ano yung function ng each keyword, ano yung function ng word na to, anong function ng um, ano ba to? Command na to, statement na to, ano bang function nun. So, data manipulation, in short, to manipulate the data. And data manipulation statements, we have select, insert, update, delete. English, madaling tindihan. Pag sinabing select, pipiliin. Insert, dadagdag. Update, babaguhin. Delete, di-delete. Pero let's discuss each and the syntax of each statements. Select statements, queries are used to retrieve data from tables in a database. The select command creates queries and has various optional clauses. Clauses, ibig sabihin, part ng statement. Statement siya in a sense na mahabang command siya. Kaya siya naging statement. That includes performing functions such as filtering and sorting. For select statement, we have the first basic query. Pag basic query, ibig sabihin, this is the most simple query. Ang action na ginagawa niya is to retrieve all records from a single table. Basic. Anong gagawin niya? Fetch lang siya ng data. Anong composition? Meron siyang select statement, meron siyang from clause. Select statement is used to list all the fields. Ano yung mga fields na kailangan ko, ano yung mga column na kailangan ko from that table. And the from clause, itong from, this is used to specify from which, saan natin kukunin. Sabi natin, database is composed of multiple tables. Nag-send ako ng statement. So you have to specify, sa lahat ng tables na meron dito, ano yung titingnan ko, ano yung i-access ko. Yun yung purpose ng from clause. You have to specify kung aling table yung titingnan niya, yung i-access niya. Syntax. You have the select keyword followed by the field name, followed by from, the from clause or the from keyword followed by the table name. So doon sa kanina natin, if I'm gonna be using example here, select keyword, followed by the field name. Kung ano po yung orientation ng nung field name natin, as is, sa yung susundin mo. Kung walang space, kung walang underscore, kung naka-capital, follow mo as is. From the table name. So, ang gagawin niya, all of this information or data will be fetched. Ililist niya yung hotel name, Dusit, Shangri-La, Buckingham, Princess Diana, Grosvenor, Mactan. So, lahat yan ililist niya. Kasi yun yung command mo. Select hotel name, all the data under hotel name from the table hotel. So, that's the basic fetch. We can also do multiple, like, halimbawa, select, type ka na lang sis. Select hotel name, comma. If you have, kung mag-enlist ka ng multiple fields, multiple data, you use comma for your separator and then follow the next field name and then the from clause. Followed by the table name. So, ibig sabihin nito, pipiliin ko yung hotel, katabi niya yung corresponding city kung saan siya nakalahit. So, lahat yon yun yung i-fetch ng data. If multiple, masyado namang marami yung fields na kailangan mong enlist, isang malaking form yan, ang daming text box na kailangan natin i-display. For shortcut, you can use asterisk. Asterisk is a character that tells query to retrieve all from the table. Ang basa natin dyan, select all from students. So, ibig sabihin, lahat, as in lahat ng records, lahat ng fields, kukunin niya from that table. Another example is select last name from students. So that is the basic structure of a basic query or the select statement. Aside from basic query, fetch lang yan, we can also filter our data. Pag filter, sinasala natin. So, a filtered query uses where clause. Gagamit daw tayo ng where keyword to include or exclude specific records. Pipiliin ko lang yung records na kailangan ko. O, 1,000 yung estudyante sa college. Ang kailangan ko lang BSIT. So, gamit ako ng filtered query. Select all from students where course is BSIT. So, yun lang yung i-fetch niya. Kapag ang course hindi BSIT, skip niya yan. Pagka ang course is BSIT true, fetch na yan. Or instructor is the Cruz. Another example is students, select all from students where last name is Makiling. If that is true, hanapin niya yung, check niya lahat ng records, check niya yung last name if equal to Makiling, true. And if first name is equal to Maria, true. Yun yung record na i-fetch niya. Kapag mag-false yan, deadma. Okay? For this case, either condition, basta nag-true yan, fetch niya. So, similar with your programming conditions, pwede tayong gumamit ng logical operator, comparison operators. Basta iset lang natin yung condition. The syntax is select field name from table name. So, kung mapapansin nyo until here, this is the basic query. Fix na yon. Hindi yan nababago. Select field name from table name. Dagdag lang natin yung where clause. Where keyword tapos criteria. Your condition. Ano yung criteria mo, ano yung condition mo. Pag nag-true yan, edi pak, yun yung kukunin niya, isa-select niya ang data. We also follow the logical precedence, not, and, or. Same with your programming. So aside from and, not, and, or, you can use, or we use comparison operators, less than, greater than, less than equal, greater than equal, not equal. Pwede ring other data types like if you need number, select student, all students from, select all from students where grade is 75. So, bahala ka doon sa criteria mo, sa condition mo. Kung ano lang yung kailangan mo, edi set your condition. Meron din tayong keywords like between, like, in. Between, set the range of values. Like, value matches the pattern specified. And in, record belongs to that particular group. We have an example here. Example here is, select all from students where last name between Diaz and Ferrer. Ibig sabihin, dun sa listahan ko ng students, check ko yung last name. The record after Diaz, lahat ng record na yon until the record before Ferrer, yun yung i-fetch ko. For in naman, let's select GWA from students where last name in Diaz and Manuel. Ibig sabihin, kasama si Diaz, the record in between, and kasama yung Manuel. This is inclusive, this is exclusive. Pero pareho lang. In between at saka in. Like, select all from students where last name like the percent sign. Ibig sabihin nito, percent is any character following this letter D. Kahit ano pa yung character after letter D, ilalabas niya. In short, lahat na nag-i-start, last name that is starting with D, ilalabas niya. We often use this sa searching. So, search student. Halimbawa, meron kang text box dyan. Type ko pa lang yung letter D, gumagalaw na yung list of students ko. This is in your Excel, in your form. Since percent is a placeholder, kapag nauna yung percent tapos D, ibig sabihin, lahat na nagtatapos sa D, yun yung ilalabas niya. If nasa gitna yung D, anywhere ang position ng D, basta anong tawag doon? Substring ang D, letter D, this letter is a substring, yun yung i-fetch niya. So this is the function between, like, and in that you can use in where clause. We also have sorted query. From the word sorted, ang ginagawa niya is sort, to arrange in a particular manner. Sorting uses the order by clause. So we have from clause, where clause, order by clause to retrieve records in a specific sorted order. Pagsusunod-sunod rin niya. Syntax is select field name from table name. Again, the basic. Order by field name. Pwede magkasama yan. Halimbawa, where course is BSIT, order by last name. Magkakadugtong yon. So, pwedeng diretsong ganon. Sinama mo yung where clause at saka yung order by. Pinili ko lang puro BSIT tapos order by last name. So, order by followed by the field name. Ano yung magiging criteria ko para pagsunod-sunodin? Student number ba? Year level ba? By name ba? By birthday? By age? Order by. So, you have to specify kung alin. Example, select all from students order by last name. So, i-alphabetical niya using the last name. Select all from student order by last name GAA. Pwedeng multiple. Again, you can just use comma if you have multiple listing. Ibig sabihin nito, kapag meron magka-apelido, halimbawa, Humilde, ano ba susunod kong criteria? Sino yung unahin ko sa Humilde? Hindi yung first name yung titingnan ko. Kasi ano yung isa? J tapos M, hindi ganon. Nakaset kasi na criteria, GWA. So, kung may magka-apelido, titinan ko yung GWA, kung sino mas mataas na grade, siya yung mauna sa listahan. Ganun yon. So, you can set multiple fields as your basis for sorting. Also, you can set kung ASC or DESC. This is your keyword, ascending. ASC is for ascending. DESC is for descending. Kung gusto ko mauna yung Z to A, descending. By default, this is ascending. Okay? Gusto ko mauna yung A, ascending. Baliktad, descending. So there's an example of sorted query. We also have aggregated query. For aggregated query, this is a statement, a select statement that uses simple math functions, mga basic math functions. Example, we have here, select customer, specific yung field, customer daw, and sum of order price. Yung order price daw, pipiliin ko pero gusto ko nakasum or nakatotal sila. From table orders, this is your table, group by customer. So, from my customers, meron akong Hansen, group by customer. Pagsasamahin ko sa customer, si Hansen, Hansen, Hansen. Meron akong Nielsen, Nielsen. Meron akong Jensen. O, nakagroup na sila. And then, get the sum of the order price. For Hansen, meron akong 1,000, 700, 300. Magkano yung kay Hansen?
2,000.
2,000. Next, for Nielsen, next record, meron siyang 1,600, meron siyang 100. Magkano yung kay Nielsen?
1,700.
So we have 1,700 for Nielsen. And then lastly, Jensen, wala nang ibang Jensen na record. 2,000 yung sa kanya. So ang lalabas na data from this statement, ito lang. Hansen, 2,000. Nielsen, 1,700. And Jensen, 2,000. So, yan yung makikita nyo yung data. Hindi yung buong table yung lalabas. Ito lang kasi, ito lang yung nakaspecify dun sa statement mo or sa command mo. Hindi yung buong table yung ma-fetch niya. Ito lang. Right? So, that is aggregated query. Aside from sum, meron pang ibang simple functions like average, count, sum, max. If you will be needing computation, check if SQL have that specific function. Kapag wala yung function, that's the time na kailangan yung gumamit ng programming skills. Paano? Example, here. Example, hindi nag-i-exist yung sum. Wala tayong sum na function. Pero gusto kong i-total yung order ng per customer. So what you need to do is to fetch customer and order price. So start with, kunin ko muna yung yung kay Hansen, 1,000, 700, 300, lagay ko sila sa array, lagay ko sa variable, or what, and then yun yung ilagay ko sa for loop, yun yung ito-total niya. Kay Nielsen, same. So, ganun yung magiging approach niya. Kung wala yung function, papasok yung programming skills mo using whatever programming structure that you need for you to produce the desired output. Aggregated query, we also have join query. For join query, this joins table together, returning records from multiple tables. Ibig sabihin, you are working with two tables here, join. Hindi mo pwedeng i-join yung isa lang. So, dapat kailangan dalawang table, ipagsasamahin mo. Joins can be performed in various ways. You have inner joins, outer joins. You'll know more with what is that. For example, here we have two tables, table orders and table persons. For orders, we have order ID, order number, person ID. For persons, fields are PID, last name, first name, address, CP. So if I have a statement here, example syntax statement, select all from orders, join with persons. So this is table name, basta na lang ba sila pagsasamahin. I have a criteria on person equal orders PID equal persons PID. So the syntax of this is the table dot PID, the field name, table dot PID field name. So ibig sabihin, select all from table orders, table persons on PID, order.PID equal to persons.PID. Kung nag-match daw siya, 3, 3, 3, match, 1, 1, 1, yun daw yung i-join niya. Pagsasamahin niya yun sa into 1 result set. Okay? Different types of join. Meron tayong left join, right join, partial join, full join. So sa left join, it returns all rows from the left table. So lahat ng nandun sa left table, kahit walang match dun sa kabila, plus yung match dun sa kabila. Right join, lahat ng nasa right table plus yung magmamatch dun sa left table, dun sa kabilang table. So if you are using join query, play with anong kailangan mong, what type of join yung kailangan mo for your output. Pwedeng full, pwedeng partial, left, pwedeng right. Next, we also have nested query. For nested query, let me just open the ano. Okay, for nested query, similar analogy with your nested statements, nested loop, nested if. So this is a statement within a statement. For nested query, also known as a subquery, it is a query contained within another query or the parent query or your calling query. So multiple levels of statements. Tulad din ng nested if, nested loop, the innermost statement yung una nating i-execute. So here is the innermost select statement. Sabi niya, select customer ID from table customer info where kapag last name is Gutierrez, on that table, kunin natin yung customer ID. Example, nakita niya Gutierrez, customer ID is 13. Yun yung data na ibapato niya kay parent query. So sa parent query, select all from Table orders. So, dalawang table na. Kanina, customer info. This is table orders na. Where customer ID is equals to 13. Yung binato niyang na-return na data. So, sa table orders daw, hanapin ko yung customer ID. Kapag 13 yan, fetch the record. So, that is nested query. And we also have composite query. For composite query, it is a query that merges multiple query results together, most often using the union keyword. For union operator, it is used to combine result set of two or more select statements. Para din siyang join. Difference is each select statement within the union must have the same number of columns. Pareho yung number of columns. Kanina dun sa orders at saka person's PID, hindi pareho ng columns, hindi pareho ng field name. So dapat pareho number of fields. The fields must also have similar data types, and also fields in each select statement are in the same order. We have union statements, union distinct and union all. Example, I have here two table, employees Norway and employees USA. Again, for composite query, pareho dapat yung field name, field data type, and the number of fields, employee name, employee name. Example statement, select employee name from employees Norway, union distinct, yung wala siyang kasunod, distinct daw. Select employee name from employees USA. Ibig sabihin, the employee name, ito yung employee name. Kunin natin yung kay Norway, Hansen, Svensson, Svensson Steven, Petersen. Union with employee name, USA. Ito yung kay USA. Turner, si Kent. However, itong si Svensson Stephen, nandito na siya, so hindi na siya lalabas. And then we have Scott. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 records. Union distinct. Distinct, ibig sabihin, walang repetition. Unlike for union all, select e-name from employees in Norway, union all, select e-name from employees USA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 records will be fetched. 8, ma'am, 8. That is composite query. Select statement pa lang yan. Under select statement, again, we have the basic query. Select statement from clause. Second, filtered query. We use where clause. Third is sorted query, order by clause. We have aggregated query, math functions. Fifth, joint query, nested query. And 7, composite query using union keyword. So lahat yan ay to select, to fetch data. Pili-pili lang tayo. Aside from select, we also have insert, update, and delete. Let's move on to insert. Question muna pala with select. Question po.
Wala po, ma'am.
Thank you. So, insert statement, kung kanina pumipili lang tayo, nagfe-fetch lang tayo, for insert, magbibigay naman tayo, magdadagdag tayo. Insert command is used to add new records to a table. So, dadagdagan natin yung records. Kung may bagong estudyante sa BSID2A, dadagdag natin yung record niya. Syntax is insert into, this is the keyword, followed by the table name, persons in this example, followed by the fields, naka-enclose sa parenthesis, separated by comma, followed by the keyword values, ano yung i-insert na data. Kung ano yung order ng fields, dapat ganun din yung order ng data. So 5 will be for PID, Nakamura for last name, Hero for first name. So if in-execute tong statement na to, yung table persons madadagdagan ng record ni Hero Nakamura. Insert, madadagdag, new record. So that is the insert statement. We also have the update statement. For update command, we allow changes. So update is for edit, update, change, modify. May papalitan tayo. So we allow changes to one or more records in a table at once. Update persons, syntax is update keyword followed by the table name. Set, this is a keyword. Ano yung set natin? Lagay daw natin sa last name, Edogawa, first name, Conan, pero kanino? Example, we have multiple records. Record number 1, record number 2, record number 3, 4, 5, 6. Tapos, andyan yung last name, last name, last name, last name, last name, first name, first name, first name, first name, first name, first name. Record yan. Yung record. Kung wala yung where clause, kung wala to, hindi niya alam. Among these records na nakalista dito sa listahan mo, ano yung papalitan ko, ano yung i-edit ko. Hindi naka-specify. Kapag ka wala yung where ID, bahala ka. Ang papalitan ko lang yung una. Yung una lang yan nakita, yun yung i-edit niya. Hindi naman ito yung gusto kong i-edit. Ang gusto kong i-edit mo is yung 5, the PID or the record number 5. So, hanapin niya yung ID 5. Set daw niya sa last name, Edogawa. So, overwrite niya yung data na nandun. Tapos sa first name, Conan, overwrite niya yung data na nandun. Then, action done. Tapos na yun. Pag na-execute niya, yan yung mangyayari. I-overwrite niya yung last name, first name, sa record number or PID number 5. So, ganun tayo nag-edit. Pinapalitan natin yung nakasave na. I-overwrite natin. So, we use update statement. And we also have delete statement. For delete, of course, delete. We are removing. Delete. It allows deletion of one or more records from a table at once. So, syntax is delete keyword from. Again, specify the table. From table persons, tulad ng update, you have to specify anong record. Kung hindi naka-specify kung sino, wala kang where condition, yung unang record yung i-delete niya. Yung una niya makita. Okay? Kung meron niyang where, so from start, dadaanan niya lahat. Hanapin niya where PID equal to 5 false, equal to 5 false, equal to 5 false, equal to 5 false, equal to 5 true. True. Ito yung di-delete ko. Ganun siya mag-execute. So, delete all from, wala na siyang asterisk, wala na siyang kasi yung buong record, hindi naka-specify kung anong field, kasi buong record yung i-delete niya. Isang buong record. Okay? Among the statements, we should be careful. Let me just say, update and delete are the critical or sensitive statements. Dito tayo dapat maging careful in the actions. Kasi once na na-delete na yung record na yon, walang SQL function that could retrieve yung mga na-delete na record. Walang recycle bin ang database. Okay? Unless gumawa ka ng program para doon. Anong ibig ko sabihin doon? Example, this is your original list of students. Tapos, delete natin yung record ni Rainier. Kung gusto mong meron kang parang recycle bin, ang ginagawa ng programmers, what they do is, they remove this record of Rainier, tapos ililipat lang niya in a secret table, nakatago yung table. So mukha lang siya na-delete dito, pero hindi pa siya na-delete from that database. Nilipat lang niya to another table. Kaya yung ibang information system, meron silang function na restore. Kasi delete, tapos restore. They can restore kasi ibabalik lang nila yung nilipat na data kanina. Pero you have to check, of course, kung kailangan pa yung ganong function. Kasi volume of information yung tinitingnan natin dito. Wala. Okay? So, kung kailangan mo na restore o hindi mo kailangan restore, ganun din sa update. If na-overwrite na yung data, walang function sa SQL to revert the changes that we have done on a specific record. Kapag ka nag-update ka, nag-delete ka ng record, permanent na yon. Yun na yon. So those are the data manipulation or DML statements. Again, select statement, insert statement, update statement, delete statement. You have to bear in mind that DML statements are to manipulate data alone for us to manage the data. Unlike for DDL or data definition language, these statements are used to manage the table. Ito, hindi na yung data yung pinakikilaman natin. Yung structure na ng table, yung pinapakailaman ng DDL. So, data definition language statements let you create, alter, and drop schema subjects or your table or your database. The create, alter, drop commands require exclusive access to the specified object. For example, an alter table statement fails if another user has an open transaction on that specified table. Anong example nito? Halimbawa for table students, remember your information system, your softwares, multiple users yan. Kahit pareho sila ng user level, it's possible na 2 or more yung users mo. And naka-network yan. So naka-network, multiple users, it is possible na sa isang table, merong dalawang users ang naka-access at a time. So kaninong command yung susundan niya kung parehong merong ginagawa? The ruling here is FCFS. Kung sino yung unang nakapag-access, nakapag-open ng communication, ng connection, kapag kasi nag-connect na si user, ito yung unang nakapag-connect kay table, nakalock to for a, hindi siya for a minute, hindi siya for weeks, for days. Nakalock yan for milliseconds until matapos yung ginagawa niyang transaction, mag-a-unlock siya. Pag hindi na siya nakalock, that's the only time that another user could access or have an exclusive access to this specific table. By that time, kung ano yung ginawa ni user 1 dito sa table na to, magre-reflect na siya sa end ni second user. So, yun yung exclusive access at a time lang. And by locking, milliseconds lang yan. That's the power of computer. Hindi naman forever siya nakalock. Milliseconds lang. So what are the statements we have for DDL? We have alter, we have create, we have drop. Let's discuss each. Let's start with create. For create table, again, anong gagawin niya? Very simple. Kikreate siya ng table. Keyword, create table, followed by, anong pangalan ng table natin? Followed by, enclose in parentheses, the names of the fields. Field number 1, the data type, separator, comma. Field number 2, data type, separator, comma, and your last field and the data type. Example here, create table. Gawa daw ako ng table persons. Ang fields ko, PID integer, last name character, first name character. So that, pagka execute nito, madadagdagan yung table ko. Wala pang laman kasi wala naman tayong value. Table lang. Raw table pa lang siya. So that is create table. We can also alter table. For alter table, we are making changes. Minomodify natin yung table. Syntax is alter table. That is your keyword. Followed by anong table yung babaguhin natin, yung i-update natin, yung edit natin. Specify the table name. In alter table, you can add the field or add column. So add field, add followed by the field name and what is the data type. So kung kanina tatlo lang yung field natin, gusto mong dagdagan, add field name and then the data type. You can also drop column and alter column. Drop column, this is your keyword, drop column, followed by the field name. Column again is your field. For drop column, pag nilagay natin drop column last name, ibig sabihin, i-delete niya yung column ng last name. So, yung record mo nun, walang last name, puro first name, middle name lang. And also, we can do alter column, field name, data type. Ibig sabihin ng alter column, edit mo yung data type nitong column na to. So, we can add, we can delete, and we can change the fields in a specific table. And we also have drop. So, create, drop, create, alter, and drop. For drop table, anong gagawin niya? Keyword is drop table, followed by the table name. Ibig sabihin, i-delete niya. Re-remove niya yung table na to. So, drop table students, lahat ng records, lahat ng nasa table ng students, lahat ng data na nandun, madidelete niya. I-delete niya yung table. Kung hindi table, you can also drop database. Ibig sabihin yung buong database followed by the database name. Yung buong database. Kung 10 yung table niyan, 100 yung table niyan, lahat yan, buong table madidelete. We can also use truncate table name. Ibig sabihin ng truncate, pareho lang yan ng drop table. So we delete the table. Again, SQL, wala siyang recycle bin. Pag na-delete mo na yung table, pag na-delete mo yung database mo, unless you have a separate copy, there's no chance for you to retrieve the data that were deleted. For SQL, for DDL or data manipulation data definition language, these are commonly used by database managers. Itong mga statements na to, mga data managers na gumagamit niyan. They use these functions for them to manage the structure of the database. That's why DDL are used to manage database. Samantalang DML are used to manage the data that is contained in your database. So that's the difference between the DML and DDL. DML, data manipulation language, this is used to manage the data, directly the data. DDL, Data Definition Language, this is to manage the structure of your table, the structure of your database. This is to manage the database. So database managers mostly use DDL. Programmers, um, beginners often use DML. So those are the types of query languages or statements that you could work on. So if you already have watched yung video ni Renmark or not yet, if you have watched it, medyo familiar na kayo with SQL. If you haven't watched the video of Renmark, revisit with the discussion today and then you watch the video, mas maintindihan nyo, makaka-relate na kayo kung ano yung mga commands or statements na ginagamit niya in data manipulation. Let me just pull out an application here. Let me just show you. Okay. May estudyante pa ba ako? May connection pa ba?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes po.
So, here is an example of a form. Ito yung ginagawa niya sa Visual Basic. So, nung nagtanong ako kung ano yung mga gagamitin yung language, some says VB.NET, some C#. So, kung ano yung forte nyo, kung ano yung so kayo komportable mag-program, be it. So, pero pareho lang naman tayo ng mga structure. So, this is my form. Meron tayong label, meron tayong text box, combo box, buttons, o window controls. So, alam nyo yan. Alam nyo dapat yan. So, this is for to maintain file maintenance ng employee. Ito yung basic operations na isang employee information. I can add. By design kasi, ako nakasanayan ko na ang design ng form ko, by default, hindi ko walang pwedeng i-click sa mga objects para walang aksidenteng na save, ganyan. So, if gusto ko mag-add, click ko muna yung new, doon pa lang mag-activate yung mga text boxes. So, kunwari hindi pa naka-auto-generate yung number, hindi siya na automatic naglalagay ng number. So, kunwari input muna tayo. And last name, favorite nating estudyante. Renzo. Gender, address. Okay. So, tulad ng mga forms na pinifill pa natin online or such, yung mga design nila, pwede nyo namang gayahin. Like, di ba meron kayong nakikita mga label na may asterisk. Ito yung ibig sabihin ng asterisk, these are the required forms. So, just to indicate the asterisk, required sila para hindi na tayo pa ulit-ulit kay users. So, example, lahat yan required. Ayan. So, after ko mag-fill up ng information, ano yung mga action na pwede kong gawin? Ito yung purpose ng mga naka-disable, enable, disable na text box ko. Hindi na ako mag-click ng new kasi nag-click na ako ng new kanina eh. So, hindi ako mag-blank ulit ng record. Ang option ko is to save. Hindi ako pwedeng mag-delete. Kasi ang ginagawa ko sa Luko yan is to add new record. So, i-gray out muna natin yung delete. The only options available are actions next actions are save or cancel. Kapag kinancel ko yan, babalik siya sa dati. Yung initialize, uh, yung initial form niya, or initial state. So, magre-reset lang siya. Cancel. Pag save, yan. For save, one of the programming ano ba, styles or discipline, or actually, rules na dapat natin sundan is to ask user kung gusto niyang i-push yung transaction or not. Kasi it's possible na ang tawag ito, na-aksidente lang yan na-click yung save. Hindi pa ako tapos. Ay, hindi pa pala tapos yung tinatype ko. Mali pala. So, you have an option. You see user, meron siyang option to save or cancel. Kasi kung automatic, pagka-click niya ng save, pasok yan sa database. O hindi na mahahabol ni user yung gusto niyang i-edit or idagdag. I-edit na lang niya nun. So, once na pumasok na siya sa database, pumasok na siya. So, you have to make sure. What if kulang ng information? So, you have to prompt user na please complete the fields. So, that is part of your programming trapping or validation. Part yan ng programming skills nyo. Kailangan i-check nyo muna lahat ng records na kailangan, lahat ng data na required before ma-push. Kasi kapag hindi nyo chine-check yung mga empty text box, pag click ko ng save, save na yan sa database. Ibig sabihin, blanco yung pangalan. O, nilagay mo lang employee number pero walang record. So, hindi na reliable, hindi accurate yung data mo. Hindi correct yung data mo. So, example, save natin. Sure, yes. Check. Save. So, yung record natin kanina, if you notice, we have here na the record na dinagdag natin. Record number 13 sa Vedra Renzo as a manager. In this list, I can select. Notice kapag nagsaselect ako, napapalitan yung record sa taas, yung information sa taas. Kung ano yung sinelect ko, siya yung nagsushow na record dito. So, sa list natin, we can select the data. And kapag nag-select ako ng data, I have, ano yung options na meron ako? Hindi ako mag-renew kasi ito nga yung ginagalaw ko, hindi naman yung record. So, the options I have are either i-edit ko yung data, kasi right now, hindi ko sila pwedeng i-edit kasi naka-disable sila. Either i-edit ko or i-delete ko yung data. Babaguhin ko ba yung data o i-delete ko? That's that action for you. Kung kinancel ko yan, reset lang yan. Babalik lang siya sa reset or initial state. So example, palitan natin or mag-delete tayo sa Gyros. Delete natin yung record ni Gyros. So if delete, again, practice na natin ask the user to prompts or mag-prompt tayo to ask user kung sure ba siya doon sa actions. Kasi nga, wala tayong recycle bin. Kapag na-change na yung data, permanent na yon. So, are you sure? Eh baka naman kasi na-click ko, kulik-kulik mo naman kasi, yan, nagkaharutan pala sila. O, aksidente lang. So, pagka walang question na ganyan, delete na yon. Naku, saan na ba yung na-delete ko, guys? Hindi ko alam. O, imagine, di ba, hindi lang ganyang kaliit yung data yung ginagalaw natin. No, or sa isang business, it's multiple data. Kailangan isa-isahin ko pa yan para malaman kung sino yung na-delete ko. Okay? So, ask natin si user kung ano yung intention niya. Are you sure to delete the record? Yes. O, delete natin. Jairus, wala na. So, pagka-delete niyan, if you notice the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, wala yung 9, wala yung 10, na-delete na sila kanina, 11, 12, 13. Ang sequence kasi niya order by the employee number. If we want to edit, example, edit natin. Hindi ko pwedeng edit diretso. Click on edit. Either delete. either edit. So pagka-edit ko, that's the only time that I can access this information. Edit natin yung kailangan nating i-edit. Renzong masakas. Yan. Oh. Ito daw yung gusto nating edit. And then, ano yung option ko after dyan? I can update. Totally delete na natin. Huwag na natin i-edit or cancel the action. So, pag click ko yung update, I have a question. Are you sure to update this record? Overwrite ba natin yan? Yes or no? Kapag yes, mag-overwrite yan. Mag-update. Magre-reflect siya dun sa list mo or sa data natin. Aside from empty text boxes, check din natin yung mga data like, halimbawa, this one. Contact number, di ba limited to 11? Pwede bang super daming contact number? Is this correct? No, this is not correct. Pwede bang characters yung contact number ko? No, this is not correct. So, sa program pa lang, itatrap na natin. I-check nyo na, your contact number is not a number. We are not, your contact number is incorrect. Please check. So, i-validate na natin. We call that validation or data trapping. Data trapping. We trap the data that are incorrect before pumasok ng database. This is how we clean the database. Before ko sila i-save sa database, chine-check ko muna kung tama ba, correct ba yung orientation, correct ba yung expected data type, yung length, na-trap mo na. Pagka na-trap mo na mali, meron kang letter dito, hindi yan acceptable. You prompt the user, ano bang di mo ina-accept dyan? Ano bang problema? Bakit di mag-push yun? Ay, mali naman pala. Bakit may space yan? May special character. Yan yung mga trapping na na-experience nyo when you fill out online forms. Okay? So, dapat your program could also do that. Data validation and data trapping. So, these are the basic operations or basic actions that we do in a table or a file or a record. For the code naman, for the function, again, you will be exposed, if you are creating an information system, you will be exposed in two language. You have the programming language and the query language. In your codes, 90% is your programming language. If you're using VB, if you're using C#, that is 90%. And naka-insert lang or meron lang yung konti-konting SQL commands. So these are Python codes. Hanapin natin yung SQL. So we have here a module, a procedure, sub-procedure, whatever, a method, whatever you call that. Usually a module. OpenCon. Anong gagawin ng OpenCon? This is for open connection. In short, for open connection. Anong ginagawa niya? Kasi pag naka-open yung exe mo, hindi naman all the time naka-connect yan kay database. Naka-link na siya kay database pero hindi naman siya laging naka-communicate kay database. Kasi halimbawa, naka-open yung program natin, nag-scroll lang naman ako, nagbabasa lang naman si user. So, yung mga ganong idle times, hindi yan nakakonect or walang communication kay database. OpenCon, this is to activate the connection between the program and the database. Kasi meron tayong gagawing action. May i-fetch akong data, may idadagdag akong data. So, that is your action. For OpenCon, I specify the location of my database. For PHP, MySQL, ganyan yan. These are the attributes that needed: host, the user, the password, and the name of the database. If you're using Access and other database programs, usually this is also your path or file path. Sineset natin sa connection kung saan niya hanapin yung database. Dito yung database name and yung file path ng database natin. So, yan yung open connection. And open connection, every time na, example for this one, lala. For this one, ayan, this is your SQL statement. Select employee number, last name, first name, position. Ayan. Select field name from table employee. This is the SQL statement. Ang SQL statement, hindi siya SQL statement alone. You have to, sabi nga natin, meron siyang idle times. You have to activate first the connection. Open the connection first before ka uh, magdagdag ng data, before ka kumuha ng data. Isipin nyo na lang yung ref. Diba? You have to open first your fridge before you get food and then close the fridge. You have to open the fridge before you put an item there and then you close the fridge. Ganun yung concept niyan. So, open the connection, SQL statement, and then you close the connection. Kasi, ito nga yung exclusive lock. Kapag ka hindi ka nag-close, nakalock na yung database mo. Multiple users tayo. Kapag nakalock yan, hindi yan. Kapag hindi ka naka-close or during this time, nakalock yung table mo, hindi yan na-access ng ibang users. Nakalock yan. Exclusive siya para sa'yo for this action. Unless matapos tong action na yon, doon pa lang siya ma-unlock or ma-release. Okay? So the basic structure is open connection, SQL statement, and then close the connection. So SQL statement used here, select statement, fields from table. Ano bang ginagawa natin dito? Refresh list. So ibig sabihin, nilalagay niya na naman yung list ko, yung list natin kanina. Paano ko ginawa yun? Sa analogy ng program, after kong i-select, after kong i-fetch yung data, papasok yan sa array, sa isang variable, sa isang set, sa isang list. Ang pangalan niya is result. So, itong may result, siya yung may hawak ng na-fetch na data. See here, for element for each item in my result, ilalagay daw niya sa list box. So, ganun ko siya pinapasa sa list box. So, ang kailangan lang naman kasi sa loob ng connection or habang naka-open tayo, kunin lang natin, fetch lang natin yung data. Pag na-fetch na natin, anong gagawin natin dun sa na-fetch natin data? Yun yung yun yung ipoprogram mo. I-display mo ba? Ilalagay mo ba sa text box? Ilalagay mo ba sa list? What will you do with that fetch data? So, doon papasok yung program mo. We can also add employee. This is just a module or the name of my module. Ito yung part na I ask, mayroon tayong prompt, save record. Are you sure to save the record? If true, if yes. Again, open connection, buksan natin yung fridge, bigay natin yung statement or yung command, and then close the connection. So what do we do? Insert into, sabi niya add employee. So we are using insert into statement. Insert into table employee. followed by, this is your table name, followed by the fields, employee number, last name, first name, middle, gender, address, position, followed by the keyword values, and then percent S, these are just placeholders. Kaninong value na kukunin niya in order, text employee number, yung laman daw niya, text box last name, text box first name, text box middle initial, text box address, text box contact. Kung ano yung order dito ng fields, ganun din dapat yung order ng pagkukunan niyang data. So, insert daw niya. After nun, commit the action and then close the connection. That is the structure. We can also update. Are you sure to update? Ito yung nag-change tayo. Overwrite the data. Again, open the connection. SQL statement. Close the connection. For update or edit, overwrite data, update statement, update table, set keyword. Lagay daw natin sa last name itong placeholder kung ano yung data na nakita niya. Ito yung unang data. So, text box last name, kung anong laman yan, kukunin niya dito. First name, text box first name, kung anong laman yan, ilalagay niya dito. So, sa set niya dyan. And where, meron tayong where clause employee number is kung ano yung nandun sa employee number text box. Okay? So, that is update statement. And then, commit the action, close the connection. Remove record is to delete. So, same lang, open connection, SQL statement. Close the connection, the SQL statement. Delete from table employee where employee number is kung ano yung nandun sa text box employee number. Kung ano yung nakaselect, siya yung i-delete niya na record. Commit the action, close the connection. List box click, anong gagawin yan? Kung ano yung kinlik ko, open connection, select ko yung naklik kong information where employee number is nandun sa text box. Yun yung magdi-display sa text box. And then, close the connection. And then, the rest are, actually yun na yun. Yun lang yung mga SQL. The rest are puro Python. Disable, clear the text box, enable the text box. O, naghang na ang aking yan. Yan. Puro Python programs na yan. So, yun lang yung part ng SQL. The rest are, that's the full code. Puro ano lang to. Ang tawag ito? Attributes, properties na lang to ng mga objects ko in my form. Okay. Ano pa ba? Let me just locate, asan na ba yan? The database. Open natin yung database. Okay, for this database, for this program, the database that I've used is MySQL Workbench, pareho ng PHP My Admin, database din ang MS Access. So kung ano yung nakaset doon, localhost, root, password, root, access na yung server. Ay, mali ba yung nalagay natin? Hanapin natin ang table. Okay, this is the working space for MySQL Workbench. This is your navigator. This is the listing of the table in this server. And then for table employee, again, this is my table name. Yung nakaset kanina, database name, employee. Under this database, I have multiple tables. Pero for this case, dito dapat lalabas yung maraming table mo. Kaso isa lang yung table na meron ako. This is the information for this table. And the data on this table ay eto mga to. So, I have records until 8, 11, 12, 13. So, yan yun. So, makikita nyo, meron tayong employee number, last name, first name, middle, gender, address, contact, position. Pero dun sa, let me just show the program. Dun sa program, dun sa list, ano lang, ang nakalabas lang is the number, last name, first name, and the anong tawag, position. Wala yung address, wala yung gender, wala yung contact number. Unless kinlik natin, dun lang siya magsashow. Ibig sabihin, i-fetch natin dito sa database kung ano yung the rest of the information. So let's try to add information. Last name. Last name. Save. Yes. Okay. So nakita nyo, andito yung record ni Alicia Moore, number 14. Pag tinignan natin yung table, mamalaman po yung sinave mo, yung record. You have to refresh your database by then. Andun na yung sinave natin. Gusto natin mag-delete, delete natin to. Delete natin to. Delete natin to. Delete natin to. Only have 8. Oh, BTS na lang. 7 records, pero nandyan pa sila. What do you need to do? Refresh mo. Magre-reflect yung action. Okay? So that is database programming or query language.